My name is Hakim Chizito. I work as a statistician for the Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities. I also work as the Monitoring and Evaluation Officer for the Handcrafts and Souvenirs Development Project in Uganda. Okay, we have a project for development of handcrafts and souvenirs within this country. This project was launched in August 2019 by our State Minister by then, Honorable Chiwanda. It is a project that is funded by the Enhanced Integrated Framework, that is EIF. The main purpose of the project is to create linkages between handcraft producers, traders and exporters within the country. It is also supposed to help support the sector to drive to increase production and the quality of products that the handcrafts and souvenirs producers are making, and also to boost the exports of these producers. Particularly, monuments are under a different department in our ministry, that is the Museums and Monuments Department. They're the ones that deal with monuments. For example, we have different museum sites, different monuments in Balonyo, in Fort Patiko. Those are cultural heritage sites. That's what monuments are for. So it is a bit different from the handcrafts project, but those monuments are also under this ministry, and they are managed by our Museums and Monuments Department. So one of the things that we have done in this project is we have carried out several trainings. We have carried out trainings in quality management systems. We have carried out trainings in leadership and governance. You find that a lot of the people who are producing these crafts, they produce one by one, like they're not in groups, they're not in associations. If they're in groups, they are a bit informal. So we are trying to formalize them. This will help give them more bargaining power. You find that a lot of the times the people who sell, maybe on Buganda Road or elsewhere, they get these crafts from our neighboring countries instead of getting from our own producers within the country. So, and even when they do get from our own producers within the country, there is a little bit of less bargaining power for them, because they are producing from home, they are maybe not well organized in groups and companies. So we are trying to strengthen that. That is the linkage that I'm talking about between the producers and the traders and the exporters. Apart from the trainings, another thing that we have done, we are upgrading their tools. When we did a baseline survey at the beginning of the project, we realized that many of these people are using more rudimentary tools rather than the advanced tools that our neighboring countries and abroad that are using. So we're helping provide them with more tools, better tools. On top of that, we are constructing a production center that is in Masindi, right near the gate to Queen Elizabeth National Park, to Maxon Falls rather, Maxon National Park. We are constructing for them a production center which will help bring together all producers of crafts within that region to come and produce and showcase and exhibition. So when it comes to raw materials, we are basically doing two things. The first thing is we're developing standards for the craft. So far we are developing standards for 7 crafts, including baskets and mats. So these standards, one of the things that they involve is specifying the types of raw materials that are supposed to be used in these crafts. That is the first thing. Secondly, we're encouraging the producers to do replanting. You see, when you go and you use a tree, for example, you fell a tree in order to get raw materials. If you do not replant, the next time you need to produce again, you have to go further and further away to get those raw materials. So we're encouraging them to replant so that they're able to regrow and get their raw materials from themselves. What we have done actually is we have developed a branding and marketing strategy. That's one of the first things that we did within this project. This branding and marketing strategy, it's helping these producers to know how do you brand your product, how do you make sure that you have consistency in your products. If you're making, say, key holders, how do you make 10 key holders that meet exactly the same standard? How do you brand them? How do you market them? We're also helping them create a website. We're going to create a large website whereby as many as possible producers can come in and market their products, sell them online, are able to reach a market not just in Uganda but within the region and globally. Obviously, the pandemic has been a very, very big challenge, not only for this project but for the entire handcrafts and souvenirs sector as a whole. You find that because fewer tourists are coming in, these people are not able to sell their crafts, because a lot of them, they produce and they sell along our tourism circuits, either on the way to national parks or at the National Theatre or at the Uganda Museum. So it has really been a big challenge for them. However, we believe that this project is going to help this sector recover from the pandemic. The way we are doing this is with the project interventions that we have. We are also planning to have a national expo for handcrafts and souvenirs. It was actually supposed to happen this year, but because of the various lockdowns and restrictions in movement, we have not been able to have that. But we hope that now that the lockdowns and the restrictions are easing, we shall be able to have that. That expo will help boost this sector, because it will expose all of the producers and their products and the major most selling crafts in the country to the whole world, to the country, to Africa. As I said, we were supposed to have the expo. Although we may not be able to have that, we're still going to be able to launch our various publications. I've previously talked about the branding and marketing strategy. We have the export manual that we also developed. We have a code of conduct. So we are going to be able to launch all of those publications and disseminate them to the public, because we have various stakeholders within the tourism and hospitality sector that have a vested interest in how crafts are operating, in how this business and this sector moves, i.e. tour operators, hoteliers, tour guides, and other private sector entities. We encourage all Ugandans to promote these crafts ourselves. Our neighbors in Kenya, Tanzania, even other African countries such as Ghana, they embrace their crafts, they embrace their cultural heritage and these traditions. And the only way that this sector is going to be boosted is if we as Ugandans come up and buy these products. We wear these Ugandan-made clothes, Ugandan-made accessories. That is the way that we're going to boost it. We're going to boost this sector and boost tourism within the country.